Businesses and governments are considering how to safely reopen if not everyone's vaccinated against COVID-19.
Now, one idea is a vaccine passport or proof that someone going into a business has been vaccinated. In New York, residents have an app that allows them to prove they were vaccinated to businesses and for travel. Other countries across the globe are having similar measures.
ABC 17's Connor Hirsch went in depth to get to the bottom of the question. Can we expect a vaccine requirement here in mid-Missouri?
The federal government and state leaders say there are no plans to issue any kind of vaccine passport. But as businesses here in mid-Missouri try to get back to normal, it could be up to them to make the decision about requirements. Local business attorney Brian Sleeth said businesses have rights to protect their employees and customers.
That's the beauty of business versus government. Business, we have the choice to do what we want. Now, if our government mandates that we have to do it, then we start asking ourselves, does the government have that authority and power?
I checked in with the Cole County Commission and Boone County Health Department, who both told me we will not see any vaccine passports or requirements on a local level.
We're encouraging folks to be vaccinated, but we don't feel like that's our place to make those kinds of decisions for what that will look like as far as any sort of a vaccine passport.
The Boone County Health Department said at some point the messaging will have to change to focus on hesitant populations as the community grows more and more immune.
There are a lot of things at play, and so it's really hard to put any sort of specific number that says if we reach this, then this will happen.
In order for us to reach that herd immunity, that we need to have more people vaccinated.
Dr. Christelle Buto with MU Health explained that even though someone is vaccinated, there are still risks of spread as variants emerge.
Even though having that vaccination passport is a great idea, I think that it can be misleading because you just don't know exactly how well somebody is protected.
The business community is closely watching the distribution of the vaccine. The Columbia Chamber of Commerce is not taking a stance on requirements or passports, but is helping businesses look at their responsibilities and liabilities.
And a lot of it is making sure that they're still following the guidelines that are still there, because there are still guidelines there about social distancing and mask wearing and things along those lines.
McCormick told me things are slowly but surely getting back to normal as people feel more comfortable getting out with the vaccine in arms, which is exactly the reason the Blue Note and Rose Music Hall in Columbia told me it has no plans to require the vaccine. Venue director Mike Nolan saying there's been conversation about it in the industry.
Now all of those discussions in the industry have kind of been tabled because the rollout is going well.
While Sleeth said requiring proof of vaccination is legal, businesses could run into some pushback. Is there any grounds for me to say that they're infringing on my rights or freedoms?
It's possible. It could be a civil rights violation. It could be a freedom, privacy right violation. However, I do believe that the freedom of choice would allow that person to say, hey, I don't want to do business with you if you're requiring a vaccine that I don't believe in.
And the Missouri House of Representatives passed a bill that would ban any business from requiring any kind of proof of vaccination of any vaccine, not just the coronavirus vaccine. Reporting in Columbia, Connor Hirsch, ABC 17 News.
We have more information about that legislation looking to ban requirements and broken down information from health experts about reaching herd immunity. That's on our website, abc17news.com.